when we remove orgasm as the goal of sex, then the entire experience changes. Hey, good morning from Tulum, Mexico. And today we're going to be talking about sexual transmutation and what that means. It's an interesting topic that has to do with exchanging orgasm for spiritual advancement, which is a difficult concept. So a lot of people hear the idea of sex without orgasm and think it's just fucking crazy, it's not for them. And until very recently, that was me as well. I have a friend who practices this, and call it what you will. There's a lot of ways to view this. I used to call it semen retention, but now I call it sexual transmutation, because what you're doing is taking this really powerful energy that you have, which is sex energy. And I think we can all agree that sexual energy is really fucking powerful. It'll have men and women. It'll drive us to do things that we would never otherwise do for any other reward. I mean, you can imagine either yourself or someone you know, or a hypothetical person, having all the money and all the fame that they could want, but still not being sexually satisfied, still having this drive that's independent of those things to pursue. And it really drives our behavior, how we dress, how we act, our job, our financial status, where we live. So this energy has a whole lot of driving force in our lives. And if we can harness that energy and transmute it into a spiritual pursuit as opposed to wasting it with an orgasm, then we can do some amazing shit. And maybe waste isn't the appropriate term, because an orgasm doesn't seem wasteful when we're doing it, It seems like a great goal. It seems amazing. It seems amazing in the moment, at the actual moment. But what about the letdown that happens moments after, and not even moments, immediately after, right after ejaculating? Can you remember most times, if not every time, feeling a huge drop in energy, fatigue, and not just healthy fatigue to put you to sleep, but actual fatigue in your life where you don't feel motivation to do anything? Maybe you don't feel motivated to work on things with your partner. A lack of motivation that follows, and depression as well. Have you ever had amazing sex with someone and felt depressed on the way home, or in the bathroom afterwards, or even laying in bed immediately afterwards? Why would that happen? Well, there's an emotional component to this that we don't really think about a lot, and it has to do with evolution. So evolution doesn't care about the individual, it cares about the proliferation of the species, at least the species, if not an ecosystem or more. And so, if you think about monogamy, it makes sense sometimes. You can look at this as a way that it makes sense for an individual. You could have a healthy, strong family when you're monogamous and raise children and all these great things, but is it the best for the survival of the species? Well, clearly, if we're driven to disinterest with our partner, no matter how much we love them, no matter how much we want to be with them and are attracted to them and how great the sex is, it doesn't matter, because there is a biological drive that will push us away from them, and it does it through provoking disinterest. Now that's the key here. Now the pursuit of orgasm, the satiation we feel from orgasm, is synonymous with building disinterest. More and more disinterest over time. Doesn't that explain the honeymoon effect? The honeymoon effect is frustrating, and I can relate to it. I'm sure you can relate to it, and probably with most every relationship you've had. Is that true? And I mean most relationships of everybody you know probably have a similar effect, and that is there's this spike of energy, and that's on your way into the honeymoon phase, and then that person is perfect. You have the rose-colored glasses, right? And then at some point, days, weeks, months, at the most a couple of years. For me, it's 3 months to 12 months. There's this decline, and you start resenting each other or pushing each other away. Or it may not even be a negative thing, it just comes on as a subtle disinterest. After having an orgasm, there's a moment of I'm done, and completion with your partner, disinterest in your partner, maybe even needing to get away, physically leaving, or going to sleep, or going to get a sandwich, or whatever it is that makes you just less connected to your partner. Whereas moments before that, just rewind, just 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Why would we grow sexually disinterested with someone who we love, who we're compatible with? Well, it just makes sense evolutionarily to drive us apart. And it's the orgasm that does it. There's a biochemical process that happens at the moment of orgasm and lasts for 2 to 3 weeks. So how can we overcome this? Well, first of all, you have to want to, like a drug addict getting off of a drug. They'd have to, you can't force them to change a habit. There has to be a desire within them to pursue something higher, and then you can deal with the habit. So there has to be a desire in you to pursue something higher than the physical pleasure of an orgasm. And this is nothing short of moving towards a spiritual enlightenment. It's not the end-all be-all, but even Jesus talked about sexual transmutation as being on the path to spiritual enlightenment. So if that desire exists, then this is a practice that I highly suggest that you try, at least explore and learn about. And if not, if it seems crazy to you, the idea of sex without orgasm, then you know, that was me until very recently. I have a friend who practices this, and I heard about it and was just like, what? That's not for me. I don't see the point. There's no way I'm giving up orgasm. This is stupid. It feels good. There's nothing wrong with it. Sex is healthy. And by the way, it's good for your prostate, and it bonds you guys together, and it's so much fun. And then I wouldn't say, even if I wanted to, it would be really difficult to not orgasm during sex. And it would be frustrating. What about blue balls? And et cetera, et cetera. That's okay. If you feel like that, then keep going the way you're going. But just notice after orgasm, through masturbation or sex with a partner, the letdown of energy. Maybe there's a huge sexual passion right before, and then after orgasm, it's gone. Not only that, but there's some disinterest in your partner. Maybe you find your partner less attractive, less appealing. Frequently, like, you want to be away from them. Do you notice that? I've noticed that. Do you also notice that there's, for men, I can only speak as a man on this, but you ever feel like after orgasm you feel like a sissy little boy? Like you don't feel masculine anymore, you don't feel social. Do you also feel like there's a decrease in creative energy, maybe with your work, with your social life, at home? Do you feel lazy and lethargic? I think for most of us, the answer is yes. Yes. Following an orgasm, all of those things happen. So do you want to waste your energy, waste your sexual energy on orgasm? Let's not say waste, okay, let's say use your sexual energy towards the pursuit of orgasm, sexual satiation. Like a drug addict who needs the satiation of the hit. Or do you want to transmute through sexual alchemy that sexual energy into a higher spiritual life, into a better version of yourself, where you work better, connect with others better, you have more social energy, more romantic connection with your partner? Which one sounds better? Where do we want to direct our energy? Into bettering ourselves or into short-term dopamine highs?